Based ransomware cyber attack on the world's largest meat processing company, JBS, last month did not have a major impact on North Dakota cattle producers because it was handled swiftly. But cybersecurity experts are warning that attacks targeting critical sectors of the U.S. economy are evidence that industry has not been taking years of repeated warnings seriously. For today's Ag and Energy Insight, we look at what companies should be doing to protect themselves from cyber attacks that could cause far-reaching catastrophic impacts on society. North Dakota Farm Bureau President and Douglas hog farmer Darrell Lease says the cyber attack did not have a direct impact on the majority of North Dakota livestock producers. Lease explains that North Dakota does not have a lot of feedlot operators. We do have some small ones, and those operations were impacted by longer wait times at slaughterhouses. But a larger disruption to our food system could have long-term devastating impacts on multiple tiers and levels of society. And Lease explains food security is just as important as military and energy to national security.
And those two things have been attacked in the last few weeks by these cyber terrorists, I'll call them, because I think this is the new terrorism, holding hostage the ability to operate in IT systems. That's concerning going down the road. You know, if they'd have done this properly and would have been able to lock up JBS for weeks at a time, it could have had a massive impact on farmers and ranchers in North Dakota and across the whole nation for that aspect, because they have 23 to 24% of the slaughter capacity of beef cattle in the United States. So
last month, fuel delivery in the southeast of the U.S. was crippled for several days after a ransomware attack targeted the Colonial Pipeline. Investigators say that attack was also linked to a group with ties to Russia. Colonial Pipeline has confirmed it paid $4.4 million ransom to the cyber criminals who are responsible. And an update on well water drilling for livestock pastures. Last week on Ag and Energy Insight, we told you how the State Water Commission is helping ranchers with funding for permanent and sustainable water sources on their pasture lands through the Drought Disaster Assistance Program. The State Water Commission is reimbursing cattle producers 50% of the cost, or up to $4,500 per project, and producers can apply for up to 3 projects. The governor and the State Water Commission put $2 million into the program, and they are getting close to running out of that allocated amount of money. They encourage producers to still apply because there's a good possibility that more money will be put into the program at the next Water Commission meeting happening this Tuesday, June 8th. Water well contractor and president of Backman Drilling, Rex Backman, has been extremely busy since late March. Backman is based out of Wilton and has drilled about 20 holes so far. The company drills a 100-mile radius around their home base. They've been drilling all cattle wells on the east side of the Missouri in areas such as Butte and Moffett. KX had the opportunity to video their first lawn irrigation well this year in Bismarck, and after they're done with that, they're taking their operation across the river and drilling in the western side of their market area.
Phone rings all the time, and it's kind of hard to get to everybody. We're drilling, we're around 20 right now, and then upside my brother does that side, but he is constantly behind. This is our first irrigation well for lawns that we've done. Everything has been cattle before, so we're finally hitting down here in Bismarck in June.
Last week, the Water Commission told us they have approved 503 applications, and again, they encourage cattle producers to still apply. And to learn about the Drought Disaster Assistance Program, head to kxnet.com. And finally, speaking of water, continuing coverage on a revised rule in the Clean Water Act that would majorly impact North Dakota farmers and ranchers if reinstated. We're talking about the Waters of the United States, or WOTUS Act. Passed into law under the Obama administration in 2015 and then later undone and rewritten by former President Trump's EPA administrator Andrew Wheeler in 2017. Obama's version protected major waterways, tributaries, adjacent wetlands, and a few other categories, stymieing North Dakota ag production and new construction. President Trump called it regulatory overreach and directed the EPA and Army Corps of Engineers to rewrite it so that only county wetlands would be federally protected if they are adjacent or connected to a major navigable body of water. The EPA can only govern navigable major waterways, and the rest of regulation is up to states and local jurisdictions. WOTUS was a topic of interest at last week's stakeholder listening session with new Biden EPA admin Michael Regan, hosted by Senator Kramer. North Dakota's Attorney General Wayne Stenjum was there. He led the charge back in 2015 of blocking the rule for North Dakota and 13 other states.
I want to assure you that North Dakota is looking forward to constructively engaging with the EPA to develop a WOTUS rule that is practical and that recognizes the importance and value of state jurisdiction over state waters. The WOTUS rule should recognize that federal jurisdiction extends only to navigable waters, that respects state sovereignty.
New EPA Administrator Michael Regan has expressed concerns about the Obama-era WOTUS rule, and if the Biden administration does indeed try to rewrite the Trump-era version, Regan has expressed willingness to follow a cooperative federalism approach and open the lines of communications between the EPA and state and local authorities.
Wow, lots to sift through there, and lots to continue to watch moving forward.
And Dara Lease was telling me, they were having a lot of committee members with people in ag, people in construction about this WOTUS rule between 2015 and when it was rewritten in 2017. And the idea is that it's not one size fits all.